Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is just a quick one for you today with some wet weather riding setup tips. So we're on Jerez, I think it is, and I'll just show you, this is the standard bike setup. So this is as it comes. That obviously has put the 12-inch extreme cooling disc on there, whereas normal you'd probably be on the high mass. So that is one tip, is to go for the smaller brake, but I'm not going to for a minute because what I want to do, right, so let's just pretend you've got your favourite setup that you use yourself or you have copied from online, either from this channel or from somebody else. What you're going to see is when you're in the wet, I ain't been on this track for a long time. Right, you can see the back sliding around like mad. Obviously that's an out of the box setup, so we've got a little bit too much braking on there. Now first thing, corners come up a bit quick. It's actually riding better than what I thought it would. This isn't doing my video a lot of favours, is it? Anyway, what I'd usually say is, because in the wet you can quite often have it where your back's kicking around all over the place. Don't really matter whether you're on Moto 3, Moto 2, whatever, being a bit more ginger. Is a lot of the time on the corners you're probably going to want power setting 1. So that's the first tip to help you out. You can still see she's swinging about a little bit there. Another tip, with it being wet, electronic brake I usually default to 1. Obviously if you're trying to optimise the setup completely, well, then you can experiment with it, but that will just help you when you're going into corners to stop the back flying about. Usually traction control I'll put on max, regardless of where it is normally. So you can see it's a little bit more stable there. But I mean, all this stuff's fairly obvious, but for somebody who's new to the game. Other thing I usually do, if I'm say like in career mode, I'm going to do a wet race, I'll normally try it with the anti-wheelie down on the minimum. Because a lot of the time, because the bike's spinning slightly and you've got less power, you're not really going to be wheeling anyway. But if it does lift up slightly, you don't want to be taking power off the bike. So that's your basics. Obviously I've not done a good lap there, I'm busy chatting, I'm trying to work this out, but straight away just altering them settings there will give you a little bit of a hand. Obviously you can whack the power up on the straights. So the other bits, what I do, because obviously that track seems quite lenient, is I go to transmission and I turn the slipper clutch right down. That often helps. The rear brake, to help the back end, usually I'll go for the 7-inch disc, and on the front brake I tend to go for the standard 12-inch, because with the extreme cooling you'll just find that the discs flipping blue half the time. They do work a little bit better if they're in that green zone. And the final thing, because I tend to like low gearing, so most of my setups are probably going to look something like, on this class, depending on how long the straight is, they're probably going to look something like that. So if you was getting a lot of wheel spin in the lower gears, to limit it you can actually turn the lower gears down a little bit, and that will sometimes help you have a little bit more traction. Whether it's going to go any better now, I don't know. I've not been practicing the track, but there you go. That's basically the wet weather riding tips. So if you get your existing setups and you're going to do a wet ride, if you apply them to that setup, I mean, you can see that I'm using the brake like an on-off switch now. There's no, and the accelerator, there's no skill involved at all now, and it is literally, oh, alright, maybe it'd have slowed down better with the 13-inch disc, but it's literally, I can use it like a gorilla and get away with it. So there you go. Hope this helps anyone who's doing wet weather riding. See you on the next one.